Have you ever felt like the sheer weight of things is holding you back? Not just the stuff in your closets, though there's often plenty of that, but the invisible burdens too. The feeling of being weighed down by years of accumulation. Physical, emotional, digital, even social. It's a common feeling as we get a bit older. A sense that maybe life has gotten a little too full, a little too complicated. This feeling isn't just about having too much junk. It can impact our energy, our peace of mind, and our ability to truly enjoy this stage of life. The truth is, as we approach our 70s, simplifying our lives becomes less about trendiness and more about practicality, freedom, and genuine well-being. Think about it. Wouldn't it feel wonderful to move through your days feeling lighter, with more space, more clarity, and less emotional baggage? There's a simple, powerful secret to unlocking that feeling, and it involves letting go. It's about intentionally decluttering the different areas of our lives that have accumulated clutter over the decades. In this video, we're going to look at 6 specific things, different types of clutter, if you will, that many of us carry with us, and how letting them go before you turn 70 can make an incredible difference in how you live and how you feel. It's not about deprivation. It's about liberation. It's about making space for what truly matters in the years ahead. Watch to the end, because what we discuss might just surprise you with how deeply it resonates and how achievable the path to feeling lighter truly is. Now, let's start with the most obvious, and often the heaviest, form of clutter: the physical stuff that fills our homes. Over a lifetime, we collect things, so many things, from the practical necessities to the impulse buys, the gifts received, the heirlooms passed down, the remnants of hobbies long abandoned. Look around your home right now. See those closets overflowing, the garage packed to the brim, the drawers that won't quite close. This physical clutter isn't just unsightly. It's a constant drain on our energy. It makes cleaning harder. It makes finding things frustrating. And it takes up valuable space. Space that could be used for living, for moving freely, for hosting loved ones comfortably. It's a silent, persistent source of stress for many people. The sheer volume can feel overwhelming. So much so that it's easier to just shut the door on that room or drawer and try not to think about it. But that doesn't make the weight disappear. It just shifts it out of sight, where it continues to exert its pressure. Think about approaching 70. Our physical capabilities might be changing. Navigating cluttered spaces becomes less safe. Maintaining a large volume of possessions becomes more effortful. And realistically, we might start thinking about the future, simplifying for ourselves, or perhaps reducing the burden on our loved ones down the road. This isn't a morbid thought. It's a practical and loving one. Letting go of unused physical items now gives us the time, the energy, and the control to do it on our own terms, rather than it becoming a rushed necessity later. So, how do we tackle this mountain of physical stuff? The key is to start small and be consistent. Don't try to do the whole house in a weekend. Pick one small area, a single drawer, a shelf, a small section of a closet. Set a timer for 15 or 20 minutes. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. As you go through that small area, ask yourself a few simple questions about each item. Have I used this in the last year? Do I truly love this? Does this item add value to my life right now? If the answer is no to all of these, then it's a candidate for letting go. Have a few boxes or bags ready, one for donating, one for selling if it's worth the effort. Honestly, one for gifting to someone who might use it, and one for the trash. Make a rule for yourself: once a box is full, get it out of the house as soon as possible. Don't let it sit there to become new clutter. Let's talk about specific categories. Clothing is a big one. We hold on to clothes for all sorts of reasons. I might fit into this again. This was expensive. This holds a memory. But closets crammed with clothes you don't wear make getting dressed a chore. not a pleasure. Pull everything out of a section of your closet. Be honest with yourself. If you haven't worn it in a year, with exceptions for formal wear or seasonal items, and it doesn't make you feel good when you put it on, thank it for its service and let it go. Kitchen gadgets are another area. How many specialized tools do you have that only get used once a year? If that, decluttering these frees up valuable drawer and counter space. Books can be a challenge for many of us who love to read. Consider donating books you won't reread or reference. Libraries, charity shops, and even setting up a small neighborhood free library box are great options. The goal isn't to become a minimalist overnight, but to curate your possessions so that everything you own serves a purpose or brings you joy. Now, closely related to physical clutter, but often carrying much more emotional weight, are sentimental items and collections. This is where decluttering gets trickier, because it's not just about functionality, it's about memories, identity, and connection to the past. Maybe it's boxes of old photos, inherited china you never use, collections of stamps or figurines, journals from decades ago, or furniture passed down through the family. These items are steeped in history, and the thought of letting them go can feel like losing a piece of the past or disrespecting the people who owned them before us. This emotional attachment is what makes this type of decluttering particularly challenging, and it's why many people avoid it altogether. But letting go of some of these items doesn't mean letting go of the memories. Memories live in our hearts and minds, not just in objects. Holding on to every single memento from a lifetime can become a burden. It takes up space, requires care and storage, and can even keep us stuck in the past, preventing us from fully embracing the present. As we head towards 70, thoughtfully curated memories can bring joy, but an overwhelming volume of inherited possessions can feel like a responsibility rather than a treasure. So, how do we navigate this sensitive area? Again, approach it gently and with intention. Start with less emotionally charged items within your sentimental collection. Maybe it's old trophies or participation ribbons from school days. Can you pick the most significant one or two and let the rest go? For photos, instead of keeping every single print, commit to digitizing them. Scan your favorites, create digital albums, and perhaps make a physical photo album of the absolute best, most cherished ones. Let go of blurry photos, duplicates, and pictures of people you no longer remember for inherited items like furniture or china. Ask yourself honestly if you use or display it, and if it fits your current lifestyle and taste. If not, is there a family member who would genuinely cherish it and use it? Gifting heirlooms while you are still here to tell the stories behind them can be a beautiful way to pass them on. It's about honoring the object and the person it came from by ensuring it has a loved second life, rather than sitting unused in storage. Collections are another area. Whether it's stamps, coins, figurines, or something else, ask yourself, does this collection still bring me joy? Is it complete? Or am I still actively adding to it? Am I keeping it out of genuine interest, or just because I always have? Perhaps downsizing a large collection, selling off less significant pieces, or displaying a few key items while storing or letting go of the rest is the right approach. The goal is to keep the items that truly represent the memories, the love, or the passion, without being overwhelmed by the sheer volume. It's about curating your life story through objects, not being buried by them. Transitioning from physical clutter, which is often visible and tangible. Let's now think about the invisible clutter that accumulates. Starting with the digital kind. We live in a digital age, and just as physical spaces get cluttered, so do our digital lives. Our computers, phones, and cloud storage are packed with files, photos, emails, and apps. This digital clutter might not take up physical space in your home, but it certainly takes up space in your mind and can cause frustration and inefficiency. Think about scrolling through thousands of unorganized photos trying to find one specific memory, or trying to find an important email amidst a sea of newsletters and spam. It's a modern form of being weighed down. As we move towards our 70s, managing vast amounts of digital information can become increasingly challenging. Keeping digital files organized, knowing where important documents are saved, and ensuring your digital memories are safe and accessible is crucial. Letting go of digital clutter now simplifies your online life, improves the performance of your devices, and reduces potential stress down the line. Especially if you need to access information quickly or if you ever need assistance managing your digital assets. So, where do you start with digital decluttering? Emails are a common culprit. Many of us have thousands, or even tens of thousands, of unread emails. Start by unsubscribing from newsletters and marketing emails you no longer read. Most emails have an unsubscribe link at the bottom. Then, tackle the inbox. Set aside dedicated time to go through emails. Delete spam and junk immediately. Create folders for important emails you need to keep, like financial statements, health records, important communications, and file them away. Get into the habit of dealing with emails daily. Either respond, file, or delete. Aim for inbox 0, or at least a manageable number. Photos are another huge area of digital clutter. Our phones and cameras make it easy to take hundreds of pictures, but few of us take the time to organize them. The result is a massive, unmanageable digital shoebox. Dedicate time to go through your digital photos. Delete blurry ones, duplicates, and ones you simply don't need. Organize the remaining photos into folders by date or event. Consider using cloud storage or an external hard drive to back up your photos and free up space on your devices. Photo management software can also help with organizing, tagging, and finding specific pictures. The benefit here is immense. Your cherished memories become easily accessible and enjoyable, rather than lost in a digital mess. Think about files on your computer. Are your documents scattered everywhere? Are there old downloads you don't need? Create a simple folder structure for documents. E.g. Documents, photos, music, finances. Go through your files and delete anything you no longer need or use. Rename files clearly so you know what they are without opening them. Back up important files regularly to avoid losing them, just like physical decluttering. Starting small, perhaps with just your email inbox or one photo album on your phone, makes it less intimidating. Moving from the digital realm, let's talk about financial clutter. This might not be obvious clutter in the way physical objects are, but it can create significant mental weight and confusion. Financial clutter includes things like disorganized paperwork, old statements you don't need, too many bank accounts, subscriptions you don't use, or just a general lack of clarity about your financial situation. As we get older, having a clear and simple understanding of our finances becomes increasingly important for peace of mind and security. Dealing with complicated financial matters can become more stressful, and simplifying things now can make managing your money much easier in the years ahead. Tackling financial clutter involves getting your paperwork in order. Go through old bank statements, utility bills, and other financial documents. Determine which ones you need to keep and for how long. Tax documents, for example, need to be kept for several years. Shred documents containing personal information that you don't need to keep to prevent identity theft. Organize the important documents you keep in a logical filing system. Whether it's physical folders or digital files, knowing exactly where to find important papers related to investments, pensions, property, or insurance provides huge peace of mind. Look at your bank accounts. Do you have multiple savings or checking accounts that you rarely use? Consider consolidating them to simplify things. Fewer accounts are easier to track and manage. Review your subscriptions, streaming services, magazines, gym memberships, software. Are you still using and getting value from all of them? Cancel any that you don't need. This not only declutters your commitments, but also saves you money. Review your insurance policies and other regular financial outgoings to ensure they still meet your needs and that you understand them. Financial clutter often goes hand in hand with financial worry, and bringing order to this area can significantly reduce anxiety. It's about making your financial life manageable and transparent, rather than a source of confusion or dread. Next, let's consider social clutter and the feeling of being overcommitted. As we get older, our social circles and commitments can sometimes become a source of pressure rather than joy. This clutter isn't about physical objects, but about how we spend our valuable time and energy on social obligations and relationships that might no longer serve us or genuinely bring us happiness. This could be attending events out of obligation, staying in touch with people who consistently drain your energy, or saying yes to too many commitments because it feels expected. The years leading up to and into our 70s should ideally be a time to enjoy meaningful connections and activities, not feel burdened by an overflowing social calendar or challenging relationships. Decluttering your social life is about intentionally choosing how you spend your time and who you spend it with. It's about making space for the people and activities that truly nourish you. Think about your social engagements. Are you saying yes to things you don't actually want to do? It's okay to decline invitations sometimes. Your time is precious, and it's perfectly acceptable to prioritize rest, personal interests, and time with the people you cherish most. Learning to say no politely but firmly is a powerful act of self-care. It's not about being antisocial. It's about being selective and protecting your energy. Consider your relationships. Are there relationships in your life that consistently leave you feeling drained, criticized, or unhappy? While it's rarely easy, it might be time to evaluate the energy exchange in these connections. Setting boundaries is a crucial part of decluttering social relationships. This might mean limiting the frequency or duration of contact, changing the topics you discuss, or, in some cases, gently creating distance from relationships that are genuinely toxic or harmful to your well-being. This isn't about abandoning people. It's about protecting your own peace and energy levels. Focus your energy on the relationships that are positive, supportive, and reciprocal. Nurturing these genuine connections brings much more joy and fulfillment than maintaining a wide network based on obligation or history alone. It's also about decluttering commitments. Are you on too many committees or volunteering for too many things? While contributing to your community is wonderful, it's important not to overextend yourself. Evaluate your commitments and decide which ones are the most meaningful to you and which ones you realistically have the energy for. It's okay to step back from some roles to free up time and energy for other things you value. Decluttering social obligations and relationships is ultimately about honoring your own needs and creating space for connection that truly uplifts you as you move through your 70s and beyond. Finally, and perhaps most profoundly, let's talk about decluttering your inner world, your mental clutter, and emotional baggage. This is the invisible weight we carry in our minds and hearts. Things like excessive worry, negative self-talk, limiting beliefs about ourselves, old grudges, regrets, and unresolved feelings from the past. Just like physical clutter, this inner turmoil takes up space, drains our energy, and prevents us from feeling truly free and present. Carrying the weight of past hurts or constant worry can manifest physically, impacting our sleep, digestion, and overall health. As we approach our 70s, letting go of this mental and emotional baggage is perhaps the most important form of decluttering we can undertake for our peace and happiness. How do we begin to declutter our minds and hearts? It starts with awareness. Pay attention to your thoughts and feelings. Are you constantly replaying past mistakes? Are you worrying about things you can't control? Are you holding on to anger or resentment towards someone? Acknowledging these patterns is the first step. Excessive worry is a significant form of mental clutter. Learning techniques to manage worry can be transformative. Mindfulness practices, like focusing on your breath or engaging fully in a simple task, can help anchor you in the present moment and quiet a busy mind. Journaling can also be a powerful tool to unload worries and negative thoughts from your mind onto paper. giving you perspective. Emotional baggage, such as old grudges or regrets, is heavy to carry. Holding on to anger or resentment harms you more than the person you're holding it against. Forgiveness, while often difficult, is an act of releasing yourself from the past. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning someone's actions. It means choosing not to let that past event continue to control your emotional present. This can be a process, and it might involve talking to someone you trust, seeking professional help, or engaging in practices like meditation or cognitive behavioral therapy. Regrets about past choices can also weigh heavily. We can't change the past, but we can change how we relate to it. Learning from past experiences and choosing to focus on the present and future is key. Limiting beliefs about ourselves. Thoughts like, "I'm too old to learn something new," or "I'm not capable of that," are also forms of mental clutter that hold us back. Challenge these beliefs. Are they truly accurate? Or are they just old stories you've been telling yourself as you declutter your physical and digital spaces, your financial matters, and your social life? You create space and energy to address this inner clutter. It's all connected. A less cluttered home can lead to a less cluttered mind. Simplifying commitments can reduce worry. Resolving financial confusion can lift a heavy mental burden. So, we've talked about decluttering physical things, the stuff that fills our homes, from the everyday items to the precious, sentimental treasures. We've explored clearing out the digital mess that lives in our devices and online spaces, making our digital lives feel more manageable. We've considered the financial paperwork and subscriptions that can create confusion and stress, and how simplifying them brings clarity. We've looked at social clutter, the overcommitments and draining relationships that steal our energy, and the importance of setting boundaries and prioritizing meaningful connections. And we've delved into the deepest form of decluttering, letting go of mental clutter and emotional baggage, the worries, grudges, and limiting beliefs that weigh on our hearts and minds. Taking steps to declutter these 6 areas before you turn 70 isn't about getting rid of everything or becoming a different person overnight. It's about making intentional choices that create space in your life. Physical space, mental space, emotional space, and time. It's about reducing the friction and the weight that might be holding you back, so you can move into this next decade feeling lighter, more organized, more peaceful, and genuinely free to enjoy the things that matter most. This process is a gift you give yourself. It's an act of self-care, a way of preparing for and embracing the years ahead with greater ease and joy. It's not always easy. Letting go, whether it's a treasured object or an old hurt, can be challenging. But the rewards, the feeling of lightness, the increased energy, the clarity of mind, the peace in your heart, are immense and profoundly worth the effort. Remember, small changes can make a big difference to your health, your happiness, and your overall sense of well-being. Don't feel pressured to do it all at once. Pick one area, start small, and celebrate each little step you take towards a lighter, freer life. What is one small thing you could start decluttering today? Perhaps from one of the 6 areas we discussed. Share your thoughts or experiences in the comments below. It's inspiring to hear from others on this journey. If you found this conversation helpful or thought-provoking, please give the video a like. It helps us reach more people who might benefit from these ideas. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel for more content designed to help you live your best life at every age. Thank you for joining me today. Here's to living lighter and feeling free.